Welcome to News Talk New England, talking sports with John. We are here to talk Celtics, moving on to the Eastern Conference Finals. Tonight, I have a special correspondent with me.
AJ Rivera.
And assistant intern.
Jemiah Ofori.
And we are here to get down to the nitty-gritty about Celtics versus Bucks. So let's get to it. Let's give your thoughts on that game.
Grant Williams. That's the thought. That's the star of the game. It's Grant Williams, 27. He broke Steph Curry's record for the most 3 points in Game 7. So he came in clutch. He played that Kelly Olynyk role in 2017, I think it was.
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, he played that role where we needed someone, and Olynyk came in and started shooting, and then it was money. It was going in.
What are your thoughts?
For me, it was just the team. It was everyone. I believe it was Horford's sister who said it. Like, the best part about this game, about the series, was that it wasn't like with the Heat where like Jimmy Butler was getting 40 points regardless if they won or lost. Like, this was like, one game. Horford is just all over the place, all in Giannis's face. Grant Williams has had a couple good games too. Tatum stepped up, very efficient from the three. I think he only missed 1 3. Brown came in, even Pritchard, playoff P. Like, he came out and do this thing, and that's what wins championships, is when your bench can come off, get on the floor and still handle business.
Exactly,
So,
yeah. It's definitely not just the starting lineup's job. It's also the bench players to the whole staff around. And speaking about that whole series, what did you take about that from the game one of that series to the end of it?
I took if the Celtics play team ball, like fundamental, almost like Udoka, the coach, he comes from like that San Antonio Spurs background. And I feel like no matter what, whether they're like a really good team or whether they're not as good of a team, San Antonio Spurs are always a tough team just because they have Greg Popovich fundamentals. And when we play fundamental ball, I mean, we show we're unstoppable. It's when we start doing dumb stuff, like we're just chucking up shots. You got two guys in your face, and we're turning around trying to do faders.
Yeah.
We're doing one dribble and then shoot, as opposed to, like, there was one play that happened yesterday where, like, I thought Smart was about to take the layup. He could have taken the layup. Instead, he dished the rock in the corner, and then he dished it. I forgot who he dished it to. I believe he dished it to Grant Williams, and Grant Williams might have dished it to Tatum, and then Tatum took the shot. But it's that moving the ball around, that fundamental ball, that is going to make us real hard to beat. It's going to create shots. It's going to open shots. Guys who are not typically hot are going to get hot for that reason, because, I mean, everyone knows your eyes have to be on Tatum and Brown. So if they're on Tatum and Brown, those other guys got to get open and make those shots.
Yeah.
It's true. Like, as he said, when the other team are locking down your two best players, the other guys have to step up, and that's what the Celtics been showing, that the other guys have stepped up, like Peyton Pritchard, as he said, Grant Williams, even Horford with the big game. What was the big game where he dunked on Giannis? Game 4, yeah, where he dunked on Giannis. That was big. That was huge, yeah.
A lot of points. And the scary thing is, we don't even got Robert Williams.
Exactly.
We have a 66 win percentage when Robert Williams is the starting point guard. We had the best second half of the season when he fit into that role, and we didn't have him on there, and I think that made a huge difference, because our players, like Marcus Smart is a great defensive player, but I mean, let's be real here. The guy is 6 feet. There's only so much banging he can let Giannis do on him. Like, he did a great job locking Giannis up the best he could, but I mean, the height difference, the weight difference, the explosive, there's only so much. I mean, he's banged up right now.
Yeah.
He's got a little foot sprain, his shoulder popped out. They foot sprain, shoulder, he's got his quad injury. There's you need your big man, and I think if we have Robert Williams to help with Bam Adebayo, that's going to be the key factor, because realistically, we love Horford. Horford's been playing great, but if you notice, after that phenomenal Game 4 that he had,
His production went down a little bit.
His production went down a lot a bit. You know, he was still there in some key moments, but they were sporadic. They weren't as dominant. You know, he's 35 years old. There's only so much them knees can bounce. There's only so much.
Even though his rebound game was low too. I think last night he had 10 total offensive, he had, one offensive rebound, 9 defensive, and then on the other side, Giannis, he had 20 rebounds.
So there you go. He was getting out-rebounded. That's a youthful guy. And so it will help tremendously as a team if we can keep Horford fresh, so then he can keep producing for us, but then also have Robert Williams. We don't even need him to score. That's what we got our other guys for. Just rebounds and defense, you know? Yeah. Play that Kendrick Perkins 2008 role. You know, Kendrick Perkins was probably the most non-factor player offensively on that team, but was the biggest presence. And we felt that in 2010 when we went back to play the Lakers in the finals. We were up 3-1, and then we ended up losing when Perkins went out. We lost that defensive anchor. We lost that presence. So, and like I said, if we can keep Bam Adebayo in check, I like us winning this series, because if Marcus Smart and Grant Williams can lock a Giannis, what's Jimmy Butler going to be?
Yeah. And then speaking about everything, you know, this series was definitely a most emotional series for the Celtics, losing, what was it, their first 2 games, I think, were the middle, and they tied it series to make the way to Game 7.
They went undefeated against the Nets. They lost the first game.
They swept the Nets.
We just went back and forth. There was never a team where we were the first in the series to win 2 in a row. In the series, there was no games that were won. That was what was scary about that home game. We were up by about 12 points with 8 minutes left in the fourth quarter, and then we blew that lead. But I think that was good for the young rookies, because, think about it. If we had Paul Pierce and KG, or if we had Kobe, or if there was a LeBron and Wade, those vets know, I'm going to kick you while you're down. I'm not going to let off the gas.
Yeah.
And I feel like our rookies, when we were up, exactly, that's a lot of time. So with 12 minutes, we're playing kill the clock. We're walking down the court. You know, we're literally lobbing the ball to each other, and the Bucks are playing with a sense of urgency.
Yep.
And before you know it, this lead just went boom. And now we got to be we got to get amped back up and their momentum was already gone at that point. So I think it was a good learning lesson for them young rookies, those young kids, that when the man is down, you got to keep kicking.
Yeah, for sure.
I think for this series coming up, defense is the key. For this series, it's going to be defense, because you got to stop Jimmy Butler. You got to stop Tyler Hero. You got to stop Bam. Victor Oladipo. The Heat has key players. They don't have big players. They have key players. So they have players with experience. So you PJ Tucker. He's been in the league for a while. He's a veteran. Exactly. The Celtics don't really have that veteran. I mean, we have Horford, but he has never really won a championship. But, yeah, I think defense is going to win this. Defense wins, yeah.
Defense always wins championships.
Yeah. And really, if you look at, even though we beat them by damn near 30 yesterday, in order to get that lead, it was really our defense that started. Jaylen Brown had scored, pickpocketed Giannis, ran it down. We just started rebounding, blocking, stealing.
Yeah.
And that's how the lead started growing.
And the Celtics played way more physical than the opposition. Definitely saw that from the beginning of the game. The Bucks had the upper handage in the first half, but then the second half kicked off. It was all C's all the way. Giannis was trying to go up to the layup in the paint. He get an easy layup, and he miss it. And, that's
he was
what
exhausted,
the Celtics do.
But, I mean, his playoff stat line was insane. It's insane. I mean, 200 points, 150 rebounds. That's it.
Yeah. All righty, folks. We're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we're going to be talking more Celtics basketball when we come back.
There's a moment. Blink, you'll miss it. But in that second, the game changes everything. That first swing, step, look, The moment we ask,
What if? What if we could go further, jump higher, or run the whole thing? What if we could be who we're meant to be? It can happen.
it can happen.
It could happen if we're given the chance to play and become who we look up to. That's when we find our stride. And tomorrow belongs to us. This is the moment it all starts.
This is the moment it all starts.
But only if we get the chance to have it.
Welcome back for a special edition of Celtics basketball. My name is Jonathan Burgos. So we're here. We're going to talk about the coach's game plan. Talk to me about which coach you think had the better game book or schemes in this series.
I think Eam changed his play style. He went more on the defensive end, as you see, because they left Giannis. The Bucks only scored 81 points on Boston in Game 7. And I think that's pretty low in a Game 7 game. In a must-win game, that's pretty low.
Seeing how Giannis only scored 25 points.
No, yeah, that's
very low for him,
that's
especially
low
in a Game
for
7.
a Game 7.
That's definitely only shooting
I think.
10 for 26 and 1 for 4 on three-point conversions.
I mean, I think. Yeah, defense was huge for it, but I think his main game plan, which a lot of coaches, I don't know why they don't use it to their advantage in the new age of the NBA. I think he had guys crashing boards. Crashing boards, best case scenario, you're going to make the layup, you're going to make the dunk, whatever. Worst case scenario, you're going to get fouled.
Yeah.
And you might get an and one. So with that being said, I think, we had Portis in foul trouble for a little bit. Giannis, I mean, there's only so much he's going to take.
Exactly.
The smart thing with him is so you put a guy like Smart on him for a few plays, and then when Smart starts to tire out, you throw Grant Williams on him. So there's always someone that seems a little bit fresher than he is. There's only so much
He can do.
backpacking
Yeah.
you can do for a team. And we crashed boards. We picked up key fouls when we had to. I hate when, and it seems to be working for a lot of teams, but it also is the downfall for a lot of teams. It's like, you live by the shot, you die by the shot.
No, yeah. I agree with
Warriors were the
that.
same
I agree
thing
with that.
When they were like the original Splash Bros.
Yeah.
Like, if they were not on, they were going to lose the game.
No, yeah.
And it's the same thing with us. There's games where, Marcus Smart might come out hitting threes. Jaylen Brown might put up 27, 28. Tatum might put up 30, 31. And they all were hitting on all cylinders, everyone. But when we can't hit a damn thing, I mean, it's awful to watch.
No, yeah.
And when we just settle for the three, that's just, we can't win basketball games like that. You have to play fundamental ball, take the easy shot, hit them occasionally because they eventually will come. But you crash boards, you're gonna get guys in foul trouble. You're gonna pick up and ones. You're probably gonna get the 3-pointer anyway. Jaylen Brown, I was disappointed. He missed. From what I saw when I watched the game, I don't know if he missed any more, but he missed 3 free throws. Now, does this game come down to 1 point, 2 point, 3 point like that? Those
You never know.
but,
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. You never know.
But when you crash those boards, you got to hit those free throws, and that's how you tire teams out. That's how you're gonna get. And I think that's what makes the Heat so good because there's nobody. I mean, aside from Tyler Herro, like there's nobody on that team that you're like, oh, they can hit threes, but they're not sitting there trying to chuck up
Exactly.
threes. They're sitting there crashing boards, pick and rolls,
Going to the paint.
Dragic is a good facilitator. Butler, they play
exactly.
good team, and they're a deep team. Bam Adebayo knows his role. Like it makes them a hard team to beat because they play that style of basketball as opposed to that new age chuck
the three. Yep.
Like you're gonna have your nights where you're on. Shoot, even in us regular folks in pickup games, we got games where we're not missing anything and we're feeling ourselves. And there's games where it's like, man, nothing's going in today. So it happens for NBA players too. So I cannot stand it when we do that because, it's a hit or miss. Meanwhile, this team is crashing boards, grabbing rebounds. we're already not a big team, so grabbing rebounds
It's
hard
huge,
for
yeah.
us.
One thing I have realized is the Celtics play a lot better when Jason Tatum is like at his best. The Celtics play way better when the ball's in his hands and he's scoring. They play better.
I mean, Jason Tatum is Jason Tatum.
Right.
He's gonna be good, and he's gonna make players around him better. Me personally, I feel like when Marcus Smart is on offensively, I feel like the rest of the team feeds off of that, because if he's hitting shots,
That's different. A lot of people don't say that. A lot of people don't say that.
Not known for his offense, like when he's hitting shots, it's a problem, because now it's like, oh, we can't just focus on JB and JT. We got to focus on this guy, and he's a facilitator.
Right.
Sometimes, like, there's a few times where I'm like, oh yeah, go up with that Smart, and he went up, but then dished it out, and somebody was wide open, you know.
Right.
It was a little Rondo flavor kind of.
No, yeah.
And he's locked down. He's locked down defensively. So I think when he's on, I think we're more dangerous than when JT's on, because when JT's established himself as one of those people who are, you're not going to stop me, you can only hope to contain me. Just
That's
like
true.
Giannis.
Yeah, that's
Think
true.
about it.
So-
We're saying Giannis didn't have a great game yesterday, but let's be real here. How many points did he have?
25
Only. We're saying only.
Only.
Some guys wish
to
score
have 25
points
exactly.
in a game, let alone a game 7. 25 points. 20. He was 1 assist away from a triple double.
A lot of guys.
25 points, 20 rebounds.
A lot of guys
and
can't do
that's
that.
That's an average game for him. That's
Exactly.
considered somebody that you can't stop. You can only hope to contain. So we contained him to 25 and 20 instead of him throwing 40 and 20 on us.
No, yeah.
So it's the same thing with JT. You can hope that he doesn't score 30, 40 on you, and you can hope contain him to 25, 27. But he's going to be who he is. He's just that elite of a ball player. It's Marcus Smart that when he's on, the team is scary.
No, like you said, Marcus Smart's like that Rondo role. Like, you need him to play good to have a.
It's like a catch-22 with him, too, because when he starts feeling himself a little bit too much, then he starts taking those dumb shots. Like, all right, relax there. You hit the last 3, but don't come up driving up the court trying to hit the next 3. Like, I get it. You're feeling yourself, but know your role. You know, you hit it one time. That's all we really need. You know, between defense, you know, give us 10 assists, give us some good blocks, some rebounds, some steals.
That's what he had yesterday.
Score
It was 10 assists,
points.
right?
We don't need you really trying to score 15, 20 points, you know?
And actually, yesterday, he had 7 rebounds, 10 assists. So.
And that's what we need out of him. Look at that. 7 rebounds.
How many points did he have?
He had 11 points.
11
So,
points. So
almost a triple-double. Almost a triple-double.
It's a very modest. See, 1 for 6. Now, here's the thing.
But that's that.
1 for 6 and 2 for 9 on a team that is, like, playing hot ball, those missed shots hurt us.
Yeah.
Those are like,
No, yeah.
we don't need
Big
you.
time.
For me, Marcus Smart is best when he's taking the easy shot. Like, I know I'm guaranteed to make this. Nobody's 100%,
To drive in the lean and
but,
stuff.
You know what shots are your shots. When you're sitting there forcing shots, that's not his role. Look at 7. We won, and he had, 7 points you said? 9, what was the stat line?
11 points.
Marcus Smart, 11 points,
11
7
points.
rebounds, 10 assists, 2 for 9 field goals. 3
So 11, 7, and 9. That's all we needed from you to win by damn near 30
He was
points.
6 for 7 on free throws.
That's
So
not
he
bad
hit key
for
free
free throws, yeah.
But that's all we need from you, man. And that's why
In his defense,
Me personally-
in his defense.
Yeah, me personally, like, come free agency, I think Ricky Rubio would be like the most prototypical, like, for what we need, what we have on the team. He'd be the perfect point guard, because he's not gonna sit there and try to put up 20, 30 points on you. He's gonna play like fundamental ball.
Do you think
he
he's going to start or come off the bench?
See, what I would like personally, I would like Ricky Rubio to start.
And then bench come out,
And
Smart come off the
coming
bench.
Because that guarantees that your bench is gonna score some points and have a defensive leader. He can lead that squad, and there's nothing wrong with coming out.
Right.
You know, but I just think Ricky Rubio would fit in more with JT and JB on the court.
No, yeah, I think that would work.
I would even throw Grant Williams off the bench with him.
Yeah, even talking about coming off the bench, not for the Stars, but for the Celtics, you even had talking about Pritchard. He had 14 points. He had 5 rebounds, 3 assists. He was 5% for field goals. His three-point conversion was 4 for 6.
If there's two people on my wish list for free agency upcoming, it would be Ricky Rubio and PJ Tucker.
No, yeah, I would love PJ too.
I would throw if we picked up Ricky Rubio and PJ Tucker, you would now have in the starting position, you would have Ricky Rubio, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, PJ Tucker, and then I would put Robert Williams III center. Then off the bench, you could have Pritchard, Smart, throw whoever you want in the shooting guard position.
Smith or something.
Then you can have Grant Williams and Al Horford. I think that's a disgusting bench lineup.
That would be a good starting lineup.
Alrighty, folks, we will be right back. So really quick, just to talk about the game. We are here, Sports Talk John, and talking Celtics basketball, and we were coming to you live. We'll be right back, folks.
There's a moment. Blink, you'll miss it. But in that second, the game changes everything. That first swing, step, look. The moment we ask, what if?
What if we could go further, jump higher, or run the whole thing? What if we could be who we're meant to be? It can happen.
It can happen.
It could happen if we're given the chance to play and become who we look up to. That's when we find our stride. And tomorrow belongs to us. This is the moment it all starts.
This is the moment it all starts.
But only if we get the chance to have it.
Back, folks, to Sports Talk with John, and we are here to talk about the new series that the Celtics are moving on against the Miami Heat. So I want to get your thoughts on that.
I think ultimately it's going to come down to what I had said before. Team ball, dishing the rock around, crashing boards. Robert Williams in this series, my two key players that I think are going to be the key factors and the deciding factors of this series are going to be Robert Williams and, believe it or not, Pritchard. If Pritchard comes off that bench and he's hitting the right shots, almost like Eddie House in 2008, that's going to be huge for us. And Robert Williams keeping Bam Adebayo in check, playing defense. I'm not really worried about our other guys. JB's going to be JB, JT's going to be JT. If Marcus Smart can lock Giannis and Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving, what's going to be Jimmy Butler to him?
That's true. Yeah.
So the key component for this is going to be how Robert Williams comes back. If Robert Williams is still not healthy for this series, Al Horford is going to have a tough. I mean, there's a lot of miles on those 35-year-old legs, and Bam Adebayo is a big guy. Dragic is fast. Jimmy Butler's fast. Victor Oladipo coming. That's the scary thing. Is they
have speed. Yeah, they have speed.
Supermax contract coming off the bench.
No, yeah.
Like, that's scary. That's almost like having you got Kobe on the floor and then you got LeBron coming.
Right. No, yeah.
Like, you got Jimmy B in the starting lineup and you got Victor Oladipo, who's still good for 30, 40 if he really wanted to. So
there's a lot of scoring on the Heat. That's what I could say. There's a lot of scoring. But I think my two players on the Celtics that are gonna have a good series is I think it's gonna be Smart and Rob. Them two, when they're both on the court together, they play. Their chemistry is awesome. The pick and roll and then lob it up to Rob. Some teams can't stop that, and they've shown that in the Nets series that when they did the pick and roll, the Nets couldn't stop that.
Yeah, no, I think I'm a firm believer in the big man. I'm like traditional NBA.
Yeah.
Most of the NBA Finals teams that have won, and all my years of watching the NBA, had solid big men.
Men's, exactly.
You know, from Detroit Pistons, Ben Wallace and Rasheed Wallace. You know, Lakers with Shaq.
Yep.
You know, Spurs with Timmy Duncan. The Celtics with Garnett. You got
the Cavs
even
with
the
Kevin Love.
2010 Lakers. They had Paul Gasol, Lamar Odom, Andrew Bynum. Like,
And then you had
that
the
was
Cavs with Kevin Love.
and the reason why the Bucks were able to do as good as they did without Chris Middleton was Brook Lopez and Giannis.
Agreed
What can
to,
you do
I agree to that.
when you have those two towers on there? I mean, there was times where like Brook Lopez is like, you got guys jumping for the ball, and he's like, yeah, I'll take that. Cookies.
And then
Like,
the thing is, you have a big man. You have a big man that's good in the paint, and then you have one that you could leave in the 3-point, and he might be able to hit it. You don't know. So like Rob and Al, Rob's more like you're in the paint. Al's more, if
Everywhere.
you everywhere. Al's everywhere. If you leave him
2 on the floor is
right, if you leave Al open for a 3, he might make it. It's not 100%, but he might
you
hit
gotta
it.
respect it.
No, yeah.
You can't leave
No,
him
right.
open.
You can't
You
leave
have
him.
to
You can't leave him open. It's not like Rob. You can leave him open. You know Rob's not gonna make a 3. But Al.
But he'll still put up a triple double in the paint.
No, right. Exactly.
He'll still
Exactly.
put up 10 and 10, and maybe another 10, like
Exactly.
or at least a double double. My thing is teams ain't gonna be bullying us and grabbing rebounds over us like it's not. Like that was pitiful. That was hard to watch at times, where teams were just grabbing rebounds over us or just tipping the ball. And you got Portis, who's big and tall.
Right.
You had Brook Lopez, who's also big and tall, and Giannis. Like I said, Horford. If we can keep him fresh and he doesn't have to be the grunt of that
Big man.
big man role, and we can kind of put him in that power forward role and let Robert Williams have the big man role, I think we'll get more out of Horford, which will be scary. So,
What do you guys think the Celtics need to do coming into Game 1 and also playing on the road in Miami?
crash boards. Offer it. Crash boards, the more athletic players, have them running past the other players, get Bam out of body. Hopefully you get him in foul trouble early.
That's what I was gonna
Then you
say.
eliminate
Yeah.
that you eliminate a rebounder, you eliminate a blocker, and you eliminate points in the paint. You get him in trouble early. Even if he doesn't fall out, if you can get 3-4 fouls in the first half, he's got to sit out for a little bit. That's when you take advantage and take the lead. And then if you can steal the first game in Miami, I'm not saying come out lackadaisical the second game, but you can kind of chill.
You can relax.
Kinda
Yeah.
relax a
Yeah.
little bit. This is the first game where we don't have home field advantage off rip. So I would like to steal the first game. So then if we lose the second game or if it's a close, we're still there. You don't want to come out lose the first game and then potentially lose the second. It's just
And then go home with 0-2. You never want to go home 0-2.
you gotta come out and play like it's game
You
7.
gotta at least win one game on the road. They have to.
And preferably the first one. Just
Yeah.
set that momentum.
No,
Set the tone, set the bar, and we should be good. I just think we gotta play smart.
No,
We
yeah.
gotta play smart. We're still young, Everyone starts feeling
We
themselves.
can't go chuck
Today's my
threes.
day where I'm hot, and I'm just gonna. No. Listen, if there's an easy 2, take it. If you see man's open, pass it. Like I get, you guys want your numbers, you want to be talked about on ESPN.
Exactly.
You want your highlights, but we're now hopefully 4 games, but I'll say 7 games away from going to the NBA Finals. So, it's do or die at this point. We got to play smarter ball, not, instead of
Not hero ball. Yeah, you can't play hero ball. Yeah.
Work smarter, not harder.
Exactly.
I think a lot of vets, that's what makes it easier for them to win when they get older. Is like, who would have ever thought in the playoffs Steph Curry would be okay with coming off the bench to Jordan,
And that's the thing.
Jordan Poole.
That's the thing. The Celtics don't have. The Celtics don't have that veteran vet. Like they don't have that.
So
Unlike Miami does. Miami has PJ. They have Jimmy. Jimmy's been in the league for a while.
yeah,
So
no,
Miami-
and they got a
Miami
big
has that. Yeah, exactly. Spoelstra is. Yeah. He won a finals before.
I've coached Wade, Bosh, LeBron, and
Exactly.
everyone else that's followed after or before.
Eam is new to this, so he's the Heat have
He's a
an,
Popovich prodigy, so I got faith.
the Heat have an advantage right now. They definitely have
They
an
got home
advantage.
field advantage. They got
Yeah.
more experienced coach. They got more experienced players. Hopefully we can use youth, but also smarts to our advantage.
Who are your key players that you're going to be watching for this series?
Oh, I touched on that. Robert Williams. Robert Williams with 66 win percentage when he's on the floor, but he's gonna hopefully keep the big man in check. He's gonna hopefully grab those second chance points. You know, if we miss a three, hopefully he's grabbing rebound and dishing it around, and we can make that second chance shot. Robert Williams is gonna be huge, at least for me. I'm gonna be watching real closely to see, you know, the difference he makes on the court.
Nah, yeah, mine's gonna be Rob and Smart, because like AJ said, Rob hasn't played really in the Bucks and Celtics series, so he should be healthy tomorrow. So we'll see, but it's gonna be Smart and Rob for me. What about for you?
I'm just excited to watch some good C's basketball. You know, hopefully they play the ball good on both ends of the court, and you know, hopefully they prove what they've been doing so far. It's not a myth or, you know, or anything like that. So I'm very excited. But really quick, just talk about another playoff basketball game's going on besides the Heat and Celtics. There's also another game coming this Wednesday at 9 p.m. is the Mavericks and Golden State. So really quick, since we only have a few minutes left, give me your thoughts on that.
Golden State is hot.
Yes, they are.
They're experienced. They are.
Experience is gonna win this series.
Yeah, which they have.
Yeah.
Way more experience than the Mavs.
Clay's back healthy.
For those guys to be, I mean, it's so respectable to see those guys
exactly.
their role. Draymond's not trying to be that guy no more. Clay's not trying to be that guy.
Exactly.
No more. Steph's not trying to be that. They're literally just like, hey, you're hot today? Cool. You're hot today? Cool. You know, and like I said, there was a point in time where Steph's coming off the bench to Jordan Poole. You know, that says something.
But
a franchise player. There's dudes that are chucking up threes now. There's a whole generation of players coming up into the league, even big men, that are hitting threes because of what Steph did.
He's changed the game, yeah.
So, you know, I think they're a scary team.
Shout out to Luka though for the amazing game he played last night. Shout out to him. Yeah.
Backpacking the Mavs.
No, yeah.
Handling it. And he's tough. I mean, Luka's a dog, and
because
Phoenix
wasn't an easy team.
Phoenix was hurt.
That's true. That's true.
Phoenix was definitely 100%. I would have bet big money on it. They were going to the finals, but DeAndre Ayton was hurt. Chris Paul was hurt.
Chris Paul was hurt. Yep.
They were just trying to play. They were trying to play, you know, through it. But at the end of the day, it just wasn't enough. You know?
I know it's early, but. Finals predictions. Who do you guys got?
Celtics Warriors.
All right. John, how about you?
Celtics Mavs.
Oh, Celtics Mavs. I'm going Celtics Warriors.
Honestly, I would like
a Celtics and Mavs. No, I would like that too. No, yeah.
But no, you can't sleep on any team. Celtics Mavs would be easier for us to beat, but Celtics Warriors is the more likely matchup. Like I wanted Philly to beat the Heat because I liked my chances beating Philly better than I liked beating the Heat. So with that being said, yeah, it's gonna end up being Warriors.
Have you guys realized that this is a rematch from the bubble, the Eastern Conference Finals, Miami and Boston?
Yeah, but it wasn't in the Eastern Conference Finals, was it? I thought it was earlier.
Was it earlier?
It might have been the first round.
Was it first round? Where Miami beat us?
We haven't made the Eastern Conference Finals since Tatum's rookie year.
Was it Isaiah?
He yammed it on LeBron's.
It was Isaiah Thomas. Was it Isaiah Thomas last year in Boston? The last time we made it to the Eastern Conference Finals?
I think it was Kyrie's first.
Yeah, I think it was.
No, you're right. I think it was.
Was it Isaiah?
I think it was Isaiah's it was Isaiah's last year. I do believe that's correct because
the year Kyrie
I was not a fan of Kyrie, and I remember saying, "Look, we made the Eastern Conference Finals last year, and then he comes and
nothing happened.
And we barely made it out the first round."
Yeah.
I mean, no shade to Kyrie. You're a great player. he just wasn't the right fit.
He wasn't for Boston.
We needed a leader. We had a bunch of young guys, and he's young himself. You know, him and Kevin Durant can't even figure it out.
Exactly.
So I'm excited for Game 1 of the Eastern Conference semifinals tomorrow. Heat versus Celtics. That's going to be 8 p.m. on ESPN.
What do you think the series is going to?
6.
That's what I was looking at. Celtics in 6.
Wouldn't surprise me if it was 5. I'm gonna be bold.
You think Game 5?
I think potentially Celtics win game 1, lose game 2, win the next 3.
I like that.
Or win 2, lose 1, win 2.
I can see the Celtics winning two in Miami, and then go home and then lose 1 and then win the other one. I can see that. See them doing that.
Alrighty, folks. From Sports Talk with John, I am here again with correspondent
AJ?
Student intern Jemai.
And once again, thank you guys for tuning in. Everyone have a great night. Remember, you don't have to be perfect. You just be yourself.